Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Arte de Cocina with Lizzie. Bienvenidos. Today, I want to invite you to my kitchen. And today, we're going to cook some ground beef the way I cook it. And I know you're going to love it. I also have a little thing for you to cook with me. This. We call it chayote. You probably seen it in the stores and you don't know what it is. It grows in the vines just like the squash. It's almost like a squash, but you see how I'm gonna cook it. But my main dish for you today is the ground beef. So let's start and get ready to start cooking with me in my kitchen. Okay, my dear friends, this is what we're gonna need today. We're gonna need some adobo Goya, some ground cumin, orégano, sazón Goya. This is my favorite taco seasoning, but I'm gonna explain you what we're gonna use so you don't get confused. Because I buy this because I use it a lot. But you can also find it on the envelopes like this, okay? So if you're gonna cook just one thing, just use this one. And we're gonna need some sofrito that I'm gonna teach you how to do it later on. Because this is the main ingredient for me. It's the flavor. And I have it in Spanish, but I know you're gonna need it in English. So, and remember the ground beef is gonna be 80-20, okay? Because the other ones, they're 70. They are way too greasy, have way too much fat. The 70-40, I think it is excellent for hamburgers. But if you want to cook something like this or lasagna or everything, I recommend you to use 80-20 or 90-10. We also going to need some water and some culantro. I explain you what is a culantro later on, and then when you see the video with the sofrito, you understand what it is. So let's go and start cooking the ground meat. Okay, my love, the first things that we're gonna do, we're gonna put the stove on high and we're gonna put let's see, it's about 4 ounces of water. Once we put the water in there, we're gonna start getting in the water the beef. I have 2 pounds of beef and 4 ounces of water. I cook my meat with water, okay? So let's go ahead and start that in there. And we're gonna let this to start cooking just with the water. We're not gonna put any seasoning yet or anything, okay? We're just gonna cook this with water. If you cook less meat, you go ahead and use less water, okay? But I recommend you to use, when you're gonna cook ground beef, cook a lot, because the way that I'm gonna cook it for you, you're gonna use it on the taco nights. You can use it on some empanadas. You can use it even with some dirty rice. And I cook it exactly the same way for spaghettis also, but I don't put that much salt, because once you put the spaghetti sauce in there, it's already salty, and you don't want your meat to be too salty. But I use all the ingredients except the adobo Goya. I put just a little bit, just for flavor, and the taco seasoning, I just put just a little bit, just for flavor when it's spaghettis, okay? I also have a video in Spanish that is in the cooking my spaghettis the way I cook it. You can watch it, and it's not that bad to understand. After you see this, you're gonna understand the other one. Okay, so now we're gonna let this cook a little bit, and I'm gonna show you how it looks before I put the seasonings in here. Well, here is the meat. It's boiling. It's looking absolutely beautiful. You see this? And now when you see that almost all the meat is brown, it's not cooked yet, Then we're gonna make like a little space in the middle, and we're gonna put in there the sofrito. I love using a lot of sofrito on my cooking. That's why I make so much. So you don't have to do that. And remember, if you cook less meat, it's less sofrito. If you cook more meat, more beef, it's more sofrito. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And this smells absolutely delicious. As soon as you drop that in there, it smells really, really good. Okay, so we're gonna let that in there, and we're gonna add 2 packs of the Sazon Goya. This is gonna give a wonderful color and a nice taste to our ground beef. And the reason I use 2, like I told you, I'm cooking 2 pounds in here, and I want a nice and beautiful color also in here. You can use less if you want. Now we're gonna move the meat, so all the color and all the sofrito go all around the ground beef. Okay, you don't want to leave it just in there. Okay, now that we have that in there, we're gonna put this lower. It's too high, and we're gonna use some adobo Goya. I usually don't measure because I've been cooking for so many years that I don't measure. But I'm gonna try to measure it for you so you know how much you can use, because these have a lot of salt. If you put a lot in there, definitely it's gonna be very salty, and you don't want that. So let's start with 1 tablespoon. Okay, so I think 1 tablespoon is fine, because we also gonna use, and we move it again, the taco seasoning. That is my secret, believe it or not. We're gonna use the taco seasoning also, and it's also salty. So let me go ahead and try this, and I decide how much taco seasoning I'm gonna use. It's pretty good. I don't think we need to put taco seasoning there all. Let me move it again. But I like the taco seasoning. A lot, because they give a wonderful flavor to this. So let's try it again. It tastes wonderful with that thing. But we're gonna put, the next time, just use 1 teaspoon instead of 1 tablespoon. So don't get too much. So we're gonna use the envelope instead of the this in here, okay? So you know how much we're gonna put in here. So if you put just 1 tablespoon or teaspoon, instead of the big one that I use, just use the little one. It smells so good. Then we're gonna use just a little tiny bit, because I used too much of the other one, and we don't want it too salty, okay? We're gonna use half teaspoon of taco seasoning, and that's it. But next time, because I just don't measure, that's why I think I put way too much the Goya. So what we have to do is, for 2 pounds, you put 1 teaspoon of Goya seasoning and 1 teaspoon of the taco seasoning, okay? For 2 pounds, remember that. If you cook less, of course, you're gonna use less. Let's go and use I have to get a spoon, my friends. Some cumin, and we're gonna put, cumin is a very strong spice. This much on it, this is a teaspoon, okay, just half. And we're gonna put the cumin. And I also use oregano. This is the one that I use. And we're gonna use about 1 teaspoon of oregano. Let's put it in there. Remember, when you cook, it's all taste. Some people like a less spices and less sofrito and less everything, and some people like a little bit more. But this is the way I cook it, and I'm telling you, my babies, please try it because it's pretty good. This I freeze my culantro. Okay, I need to show it to you when it's really fresh, but I freeze it because I love putting a little leaf. This is the long leaf. It's not cilantro, okay? It's culantro. It's long, and they don't look as pretty because it's been on the freezer for a few weeks. Okay, so I'm gonna put. Let's use just 2, and that gives a wonderful flavor to the meat or whatever you're cooking. You just clean it, dry it, put it in the freezer, and use it when you need to do stews or you need to do ground beef and stuff like that. Look how beautiful this is looking, and look how fast it's been cooking. Now let me try a little bit of the gravy in here. Well, my friends, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So remember, water, 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 teaspoon of adobo Goya, 1 teaspoon of taco seasoning, the sofrito, and 2 little leaves of the culantro. And that's gonna be an excellent flavor for this meat. Now, while I was cooking this, I got in here the chayotes, and what you do is you cut the chayote in half, okay? But you have to be careful. You cut it just like this in half. Then you get some salt and water, and you go ahead and let me get a fork. Okay, you can boil them. Let's see if I can get it with this. Okay, you boil them, okay, until they're soft like this. Look how soft they are. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the next step in a little bit. When the ground beef is boiling like this, we can put it even lower, and you have 2 things to do. You can wait until the water go away, or you can go ahead and take some out and leave the ground beef with that much water. This is also some oil that this have done. Look how much oil this have. Look, see, it's not only water, it's also some fat that the meat have, and you don't want all of that. If you see this drying, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait until dry a little bit more, and if I see they still have too much water or oil, I just go ahead and get it out, because we don't want all of that stuff in our chayotes, okay, or anything that you're gonna eat this meat. So when this meat is ready, what I do is I cook only for 2 people, because we are some how you say that in English, we don't have the kids in the house no more. Empty nested. Okay, so what I do is the leftover of this wonderful and flavorful meal, I go ahead and put it in bowls, in some Tupperware. I wait until it's not that hot, and then I put it in the freezer. And how good is that, my friends, that you come back home, you have some of this meat in the freezer. What you have to do, take it out, heat it, and have a wonderful taco night. So let me go ahead and finish with this meat, and we're gonna continue. Well, my love, the meat is ready. Look how beautiful it's looking. Okay, and this is completely done to do whatever you want with it. I usually mix what I'm gonna cook today with some rice with corn, and I'm gonna do this video for you, so please try to watch it so you combine this dish. Is absolutely delicious. But the class today is the ground beef, for you to know how I cook it. Okay, so I'm gonna let my husband try this meat and see how he like it. Okay, I also forgot to tell you that I have to take some the oil, the fat out, because it was too much. Okay, this was way too much to leave it in the meat, so please try to take this out of your ground beef. So let me get my husband so he can try this and see what he think, and then we keep going with the chayotes. So my friends, here is my husband, and he's gonna try the ground beef for you.
It's great to meet you. I'm going to take a taste of this ground beef. I'd like to point out that whatever she does with ground beef is the best. You can use this meat for more than what she's showing you. You can use it for tacos or whatever. And if you decide to try this, it's going to be your favorite way to fix ground meat from now on. You can use it in your spaghetti sauces, your tacos, sloppy joes, whatever you're doing with ground beef. This is the stuff. And then today, she's killing me, because, you know, at one point in time I weighed almost 400 pounds.
It's not my fault, it was his mouth.
That's what I know, but this meat is to die for. I wish there was some way I could convey to you how great this meat is and what you can do with it. I'm hoping she broke everything down for you to where you can understand it. This time she's going to be using it in what's called chayote for Latin. You've seen them in the store. It'll be interesting for you to see how they cook up. You're really going to like it. I hope you have a great day, and I thank you.
Thank you, baby. Well, my love, we are finished with the ground beef. Once I finish with the ground beef, I get the one that I don't want to use, and I put it in the Tupperware, and I put it in the freezer for the next time that I need my my meat. What we're gonna need for the next class is the chayotes that I already told you how to use it. If you have some leftover or you don't want to use all of this, you can also cut it in pieces, boil it with a little bit of salt. It's like a squash. It's excellent for diet because it's just water, but water with taste. You go ahead and take this out, which is, they call it the heart of the chayote. My mom used to tell me that. So I'm gonna boil this one for me just to eat it with some olive oil and a little bit of salt on top. All depends the salt that you put to cook them, okay? So what we're gonna do with the chayote is, when they're warm, that you can handle it, you don't want it too cold because then it's gonna be too hard for you to get the inside, you know, out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and put this beautiful thing, chayote, in the bowl, and you can get the heart out like I said. This is the heart. I eat it because I really like it. I really like it. So we're gonna get that out, and you have to be careful not to go too deep because then you break it. And you get all your chayotes out like this. See, these don't have a lot of calories or anything. It's just so good. And you can also make the meat, the ground beef. You can make the ground turkey and cook it exactly like I cook this meat, and it's absolutely delicious. It's just, you don't even know that it's turkey. In fact, I think the spaghettis that I make on the Spanish class, I use the turkey ground beef. So I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna come back with you in just 1 minute. Once you have your chayotes all completely out, this is how it's gonna look. See, it's just, I'm telling you, it's just water. Look at this. It's just like a watermelon. Okay, then you smash it like it's a little bit like a potato. Okay, you smash it. And what we're gonna do after we do this, we're gonna use some of the ground beef that we cook, and we're gonna put it inside the chayotes, okay? And your chayotes are gonna look, I call it like a little canoe. This is how they're gonna look. And we keep getting it together. My friends, I'm telling you, it's really, really good. You can eat it just like that. You don't need rice, you don't need anything. If you are on a diet, it's just absolutely perfect for you. I am not in the diet. I have to go in the little diet one of these days, maybe the next year resolution. But meanwhile, I am on this IC diet. You tell me what it is on the comments. I don't recommend that diet for nobody. You need to see your doctor first. Okay, so I think this is enough of the meat with the chayote. Remember, if you just make one chayote, you just need a little bit of meat. In fact, freeze just a little bit of meat for you to try it with one of these chayotes. Okay, my love, so the meat is ready. We're gonna get the spoon, the chayotes, and we're gonna go ahead and fill the chayotes with the meat and the chayote. If you see big chunks, just go ahead and break it while you are filling up the chayotes. Okay, this is one. And my friends, yes, you can eat the skin. They don't taste bad. It tastes really, really good. Like I tell you, it's I almost sure that it's on the pumpkins family or the squash. So we're gonna get the other one, and we're gonna go ahead and fill it. What I do is I have a mold in here because we're gonna put this in the oven. We're gonna spray some of this butter flavor, or you can use the canola or whichever you find with this. I spray this in this tray, and then I'm gonna start putting the chayotes rellenos, the fill up chayotes, in this tray. Look how beautiful. I just eat it with the meat like that, to tell you the truth. It's like almost a salad. It's amazing. You look at it and you feel like, oh my God, this is so different. Yes, it is, but it's good. And it's good to try something else besides the macaroni and cheese or all the other things. But I'm gonna show you the rice. So this video is gonna come out at the same time that the rice with corn is gonna go out, and you're gonna see how I serve the plate with the chayotes. Well, this is my last chayote because one of them broke when I was trying to get the stuff out. So I had this little bit left over. And I eat it, I don't throw it away. And clean my hands. And in the blender, we're gonna use 2 eggs. I'm not gonna use salt or anything, but you can put a little bit salt and pepper because the meat tastes so good. I don't want it to taste too salty or anything, but you can put a little bit of the salt and pepper, just a little bit, my friends, just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and put that in there. And I already have the oven in 250, and I tell you when the chayotes are ready, I'll let you know how long it took cooking 5 of them, okay? Usually you cook 2 because when you buy one, you cut it in half and it's good for 2 people. So let's go ahead and start this. I'm gonna make a little bit of noise, my friend. And this is how the eggs are gonna look like. So let me move this out of the place so you can see how I pour the eggs on the chayotes. I like to put it in the oven. Some people just fry it in the fry pan. They put it upside down, but I can never ever do that good enough. So this is the way I cook it, okay? So now we're gonna put this at 350 in the oven, and I'll let you know how long it takes, because what we're gonna wait is for the egg to be done. So I'll be back with you. Well, my dear friends, we all finished with our cooking today. And this is the carne molida, or the ground beef, already cooked. We're gonna save it, this one, for later, for probably a taco night. And here is the chayote already cooked. 5 of them took me 30 minutes for everything to dry and be ready, okay? Just 30 minutes on the oven for 5. So if you're gonna cook one, it's gonna be less. Just be sure that it's completely dry, like this, okay? And that way you know that the eggs are ready. You're gonna see a lot of eggs on the outside of the pan, so don't worry about it. Just be sure that your chayotes with the meat and the eggs are dry. So let's cut this chayote, and you're gonna see how it look. And remember that I'm gonna cook the rice for you to see and learn how to make it, and you can make this dish with the rice with corn also. So here is how it look, and it tastes absolutely wonderful. It tastes really, really good. So I hope you like this cooking class that I have for you, and if you like it, please give me some thumbs up. You can comment in the bottom, and please share this video, and go ahead and have a group of people who can cook with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, day, year, and come back. I have a lot more that I'm gonna cook for you. God bless you.